Umbara was the chaotic campaign that lost the Republic countless clones and was one of the most disastrous invasions of the Clone Wars due to the self-sabotaging commander and woefully unprepared troops. But all of this does beckon the question, how do you successfully invade Umbara? For this video, you're going to be taking the command of the Grand Army of the Republic, and your task is to take Umbara from the Separatists and regain over the precious supplies of Dunium. So, how are you going to do this? Well, firstly, let's go over why the campaign went so poorly to begin with. Now, the obvious answer is Pong Krell, who enjoyed conducting sadistic war games in order to maximise casualties. However, this was only part of the problem. This campaign was always destined to be disastrous. Firstly, the clones were ill-equipped to deal with this foreign environment. They were trained to fight droids, not the Umbarans. Not only this, but the Umbaran technology, weapons and tactics were all foreign to the clones. And it was very clear from the disastrous assault they lacked any intel on the Umbarans, and the entire invasion felt incredibly rushed. However, for the Republic's actual strategy for dealing with the ambush-prone Umbarans, it was quite good. They spread out light walkers for assistance, and they continued to have a fast momentum to capture key facilities such as the capital city. So props to the Republic on that. They also invaded from numerous directions, which was also a good tactic to spread out the Umbarans' resources. Now we're going to talk about how I believe you should actually try to take down Umbara. Well, firstly, you're going to gather data. When the Separatists took the world, it almost definitely led to a mass exodus of pro-Republic citizens. What the Republic should have done is take these refugees in. They should have been asked to give information on Umbaran technology and battle tactics, locations of hidden routes, etc. I also believe that some of them should have been trained as a militia to act as guides for the Republic troops when they did invade. Now, let's get to the actual invasion. First things first, they should have taken down the CIS's fleet before attempting a land invasion. You need to take down all the CIS's capital ships and have measures to take down the Umbaran's fighters. Thankfully, some of those Umbaran refugees will have been engineers and pilots. Therefore, you'll be able to train your clone pilots and gunners, their flight patterns, and their ship's flaws. So hopefully, you'd be able to make light work of their air force. Now, for the landing, you're going to somewhat follow in the Republic's footsteps. However, now that you control the space around the world, you can use bombers to secure a landing zone. Now, I think using the 501st was actually a pretty good idea. They were very experienced as a unit. I also agree with having Anakin Skywalker leading the attack. Through his career as a Jedi, he'd made a name for himself for dealing with the unexpected, for example the fortress wall on Geonosis. Now, as we saw from the invasion, the Umbarans used their environment to their advantage. They rely on regularly ambushing the Republic in deadly skirmishes to diminish their numbers. It's likely their cities and facilities themselves would be pretty difficult to defend, and would fall to the clones' superior numbers very quick. So the Umbarans wanted to stop the clones from ever reaching them. For this reason, momentum is essential in this assault. You need to push fast and with a lot of strength to reach these facilities as quick as possible. And the Republic had the right idea using mechanized cavalry in the form of AT-RTs for this. A slower moving support such as an AT-TE would likely be far too tempting target for the Umbarans' ambushes. I'd also recommend adopting some bark speeders, as Umbara's terrain is relatively flat, and these speeders would be able to attack heavy armoured support units without being hit. They'd also be good to scout ahead for ambushes and conduct regular patrols. I would recommend lowering the amount of infantry involved in your forward assault. And I'd do this by using turbo tanks, a powerful and fast moving unit capable of charging through the flora straight into the enemy's positions. With these, you can advance on an enemy's position quickly and unleash a squad of troops right on top of them. This close space fighting will play to your advantage as it limits their ability to ambush you. It also stops the Umbarans from whittling down your infantry as they'll be too busy dealing with your forward troops, as well as the huge tank. Not only this, but in the actual battle, the absence of a heavy cavalry unit such as a turbo tank made the Umbarans' mysterious machines far more effective, as the infantry and light AT-RTs struggled to penetrate Umbaran armoured units. As for your ground infantry, it should be covered by forward and rear scouts. Also, since Umbara has relative open terrain, you should definitely make use of sharpshooters to avoid ambushes being as effective. Clone Squad should also be accompanied by Umbaran guides who are aware of the terrain, flora and fauna and the Umbaran tactics, as this will prevent further the likelihood of ambushes. Now from here you just need to reach the critical facilities. The Umbaran's helmets contain a gas designed to give them endurance, make them fight harder for an extended period of time. And this was a major reason the Republic found fighting the Umbarans so difficult. They were juiced up, making them far more effective clone-killing machines. However, when you capture these facilities, you cut them off from their supply of the gas, meaning they're regular soldiers, no more heightened reflexes, etc. Not only this, but Umbara isn't a very hospitable world. They would struggle to maintain their war effort whilst trying to survive in the wilderness. For this reason, by capturing their key cities, you'll likely be able to force them to surrender relatively quickly. From here, you install your pro-Republic Umbarans to power, and you now have a strong grasp on all the Duninium you'll need to win the war. But well done, your job here is done, and you've successfully taken Umbara. But what do you think of this tactic? Would it work? And how do you believe you should invade the Shadow World? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out the new U Versus series, where we put you up against the most deadly forces in the entire Star Wars universe. But thanks for watching, please do remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheLoreGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. Thanks again for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.